So that's a sense of community. You
For sure.
can reach out to them and talk about it, and it's interesting because in my experience, I didn't grow up with a burn community within a burn community. I just kind of dealt with everything
Right.
on my own,
Mm-hmm.
and not until recently, like I just went to the Phoenix World Burn Congress. So people from burn survivors from all around the U.S. come, and it was just so interesting, like seeing people who had a similar experience.
Right.
So, and it was refreshing. Like I found my burn twin. We had, like we're scarred similarly.
Wow.
It's a
Wow.
whole thing. So for you, what was did you have community? Did you have other people that you spoke with outside of dialysis or who've also had kidney transplants? Who did you talk to?
I had no community. And that's why my depression was so tough, because we all have friends. You don't have good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, they do the best that they can, but they can only take so much negativity in their life.
Yeah.
Or so much gripe. And I had a lot of it, at being so young. And, they want to hear you, but they can't take it on them shoulders for themselves. And it's tough for them to carry that on. So I had no community. I mean, like I told you before, everybody was old at the dialysis center. So there was no sense. Like I was the youngest person ever. Since anytime I've been on dialysis, I was the youngest person on dialysis.
Wow.
Where I'm from, like upper, eastern Ohio. Like there was no one my age. Now it's a lot more common. During my time, it was either childhood kidney failure or maybe a kid they weren't born a kidney, or a kidney, they had kidney problems like early on in their birth. Or they were older. There was no in between. There's no in between.
No young adult.
Yeah, no teenagers, no 20s, and maybe some 30s. But at that point, I can't identify with a 30-year-old at that point.
Yeah.
No community, zero community.
So, do they have groups like that, or was it a situation where you just didn't really know to look, or did they even talk to you about, hey, we know you're the youngest one here all the time, but we do have, a couple other ones. They come on these days. Maybe you want to switch your days, or...
No, it wasn't. I won't say never, but they had their social worker or, a person that came in to talk to you that, in the psychology realm.
Yeah.
But they work there. So I treat them like they were just another employee. Like you don't, I looked at it like you didn't have my best interests at heart per se. You work for an establishment. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like in the Black community, and I think it could be in a lot of communities, but specific to me, we don't deal with our mental issues, or we feel comfortable dealing with our mental issues. So it's always like internalizing it, or I can deal with it. So I know my parents had, my mom has said, we can get you a therapist, but they shouldn't have left it up for me to decide, because I'm always going to say no, because like I said earlier,
you're used to dealing with it on your own.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to make this a bigger deal. I want to keep this internal. I want to make this I want to dumb this down. You know what I mean? But they should have. You don't have an option. You're going to a therapist. We're giving you a therapist, and you're going. And that would have helped me. That would have gave me the sense of community that I needed.
I'm so happy you said that,